Hi guys, welcome back to It's All Light. I'm your host, Natalie Baugh, and today's episode is a chat with Nat. I look forward to these once a month just because it's kind of fun to see where my ADHD mind will take us, and I love getting your feedback on my Instagram. I take a poll and ask you what do you guys want to hear, and I give you a few options. And this week's options were I just screenshotted them and I'll read you. So I suggested I talk about Redmond Real Salt, aka my job, and I love salt. I could talk about halfway through the year, I mean more than halfway through the year, and certain goals and how you're doing and where I've been and where I am now. And then chat GPT things, and then get to know Nat and send in questions. And the most votes was ChatGPT things. So we'll definitely touch on that. And I put a question box on my story, and 4 people responded. So I'll answer those and maybe share a few fun, salty facts and one goal that I think is beneficial for you to listen about and how you can improve your life and add more light to your life. So let's jump right in. So ChatGPT has come to be the last, feels like 2 years, right? But it's like been really hitting hard. I know my coworker at work dives deep into it, all sorts of AI stuff with the websites and so on and so forth. And that's amazing. But for me, I've heard of people creating workout plans. Shout out to Doug Price. He created an account, I think it's called Fit GPT, and he helps people know how to curate through ChatGPT a fitness plan. So I initially used it when I was training for my ultra marathon. I was looking at my ChatGPT account, and it's hard because I can't remember which emails I signed into, so one's different on my phone than it is my laptop. But it was super helpful as I was planning for my ultra marathon. I was injured, so I had to rearrange my schedule, and I was like, okay, I have this many weeks left and this much time, and I need to get this many miles. Block me out day by day, include track workouts, include strength workouts, and help me prepare for my race. So I kind of modified my schedule with the help of ChatGPT. And then as time was cracking down before my race, I had it meal plan for me, good meals for running. I had it plan out snacks for my race, and it was really helpful. And lately, I used it as a Costco grocery list. I kind of gave it the prompt, I need a healthy grocery list for one person for 4 meals, a variety of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was awesome. And I got all the things, and I eat them still in my own personal ways. I still haven't branched out to try new things as much as I wish I did, but it was super helpful. It gave me a lot of great products to try, and then I asked for 3 other meal ideas, and it's just like, here are the ingredients, here are the directions, and it's awesome. Like, it's like a quinoa salad with chickpeas and veggies. And it's like, all you do is just cut some cucumbers, bell peppers, red onions, lemon, olive oil, and quinoa. And I'm like, okay, I haven't yet to do that, but it's awesome. Just giving me that list of what to get at the grocery store was so helpful. I also am working on building out a strength training plan. And just like 3 times a week, preferably Monday, Wednesday, Friday, mix in a 16-week marathon training plan with sprint workouts and hills, because I'm still debating what kind of race I want to do in the fall. But yeah, it was really awesome. I need to get more specific with it. Its results were good, and it kind of gave me an overview of like Monday's strength, Tuesday's speed, Thursday's tempo, Saturday longs, Sunday rest. And I want it to be more specific to certain muscle groups every day. This one kind of was like, Monday, do squats, bench press, bent over rows, and a plank. And I would prefer maybe more of like back and bi and like similar workouts. Anyways, but it built it out for like week 9 through 12 and 13 through 16, like all these weeks. And then the marathon train plan too. So I've yet to like really dive into this, and then I'm thinking the next step for me would be to copy and paste this into like a document or like a PDF, or maybe I put it in Canva so it's like funner to look at, because that's what I've been using for my workouts for strength training is this old PDF link. And I only have week 5 screenshotted and the link broke. I wish I had all 8 weeks, but it's a strength training plan, and it's like it's buy and try on Monday, it's legs on Tuesday, it's shoulders on Thursday. Like it's so good, and I love that it just like tells me what to do. Also, speaking of working out, I did a week trial at Train Insane. Shout out to Megan Overby. And I went hiking with the Train Insane people, and they're awesome. And I did the free trial for a week, and it killed me, but was so good. So I'm budgeting and seeing if I can fit that in my budget, because I love just someone yelling at me to work, because I work so much harder, and I bet I would see more progress. Anyway, so other things on ChatGPT. My fun coworker, shout out to Becky, was telling me about IFS, a therapy system, and she was saying she's so good at this stuff, but you can coach and train and feed your AI to know or to think how you want it to answer, not necessarily like still give you its input, but like from a perspective you're wanting it. So I need to find where I typed it in, but she was like, yeah, like ask it to act like an IFS therapist and walk you through like a therapy session, and it gives you questions and feedback, and you send in your answers, so you literally create your own like therapy session with ChatGPT. So that is something on my list to do. Man, I life just kind of is like flips you upside down sometimes, and I feel like the past few months I have been flipped upside down and my head's been screwed on backwards. So figuring out a lot of things right now, but that is one thing I need to make time to do. And I'm really excited to just explore that, as well as, you know, actual therapy. But that's another fun thing you could do with ChatGPT. We use it at work sometimes for different ideas, captions, like little things just to get our mind thinking. But yeah, I've done grocery lists a few times. I looked it up for my ward council for church, like how to build connections. And like the points it gave me were like points we were discussing. It was actually pretty cool. Let's see, what else? I typed in attracting love authentically. How this is what I asked ChatGPT. How can I be hard to get and get guys to love me? This was a while ago. Probably right when I first found out about ChatGPT. But it was saying, being hard to get can sometimes create an aura of desirability, but it's crucial to approach this idea with care. The goal is to maintain your self-respect and ensure mutual respect in any relationship. Here are some balanced tips that can help you be more appealing while fostering genuine connections. So, like, it made it even better than what I asked it. And it was like, maintain your independence, be self-confident, don't always be available, set boundaries, take things slow, be engaging, but keep some mystery, show genuine interest in the other person, be positive and fun, communicate clearly, and be yourself. So, those 10 points I actually really liked. Which leads me to a thought I wanted to share. I was just chatting with my roommate, Kate, and we were talking about the power, what's it called? The need for men to court women and, in a sense, like chase after women. But I like saying court better because it helps them feel more like a man when they're like going after something and seeking something. And so it's similar to like, as a girl, we can help the guy court you by doing certain things. It's more like it feels more traditional. Like if I had it my way, I would love if every time I walked into a room of guys, or like maybe more small scale, not like a party, they would like stand up, you know, like, or like little bows and curtsies. Like I just watched Pride and Prejudice, so my mind is like there. But like that thought's always in my head because it's just like cool. I also just watched the TikTok of Kate Middleton showing up at Wimbledon. Man, I got chills. Just the respect for her. It was so cool. That was completely besides the point. But yeah, courting, and like Kate was saying, it helps them be the most masculine they can be, and in turn helps you be the most feminine you can be. And like shine as who you truly are and balance and help each other out. There's so much more on this, and I hope to bring Kate back on the podcast so we can hear her thoughts because she's so eloquent. Okay, that's like all I have for ChatGPT. Pretty fun though. But yeah, explore it. There's things you could do. You could even ChatGPT, what are things I can ask you? Like, who knows? You never know. Okay. Redmond salty facts, if you care. Redmond real salt is mined in Redmond, Utah, which is just like 2 hours south of Provo. And it is the coolest mine ever. It was founded in 1958 by the Bouchard brothers. They saw like animals licking the ground and realized it was salt and started mining it. And now it goes down about 800 feet underground, like 5 levels, with these huge trucks that go in and mine the salt out. Majority of the salt's for agriculture, equine, road salt, ice slicer, and mineral salt. And then there's a food grade section where we, of course, don't use dynamite or any other explosives. We just use a special machine that cuts it off, and then it's taken to Heber, where it's packaged, and then where we market it. And all the other salt are other Redmond companies, like the equine, the hunt, the agriculture, the minerals. And then we also have bentonite clay mine down there. It's like volcanic ash that protected the salt mine. And bentonite clay is amazing, you guys. It can be used on literally anything. I need to tell my coworker to put it on her cut. But you can brush your teeth with it, face masks, put on mosquito bites, sunburns. Cuts. It like helps heal and pulls. You can even ingest it if you really want to. And then Redmond Real Salt has Relight. So we took the salt, which is a main electrolyte for your body, sodium, and added potassium, magnesium, and like chloride, no, calcium, and put it in an electrolyte drink mix. So if you're needing to be more hydrated, you can take it daily. You can take it right after your workout, before your workout. It's incredible. I have it all the time. Anyways, any other fun salty facts? I don't know. I talk about it all the time. I could go on and on. Our Redmond Real Salt is comparable to a pink Himalayan salt, but we know our mining processes and it's a lot cleaner. There's no microplastics because it's an ancient sea salt from like 75 million years ago. Kind of like Great Basin, but down south was the Sundance Sea. And so it's a good mineral salt. It's rich in tons of minerals and it's just great. Okay, that's all. And then a goal I wanted to share that has been really cool, and I'm proud I've made it halfway through the year and I've stuck with it, is going off Instagram mainly, sometimes going off TikTok too, for 2 weeks every month. And I keep track of it on my notes in my phone. And sometimes I get on to post the podcast, or on my desktop I see like a message that I want to respond to on Instagram. And I'm on social for work, but like my personal, like tapping through stories or scrolling, I don't do for 2 weeks. And it's been really cool just to like take a break. It's hard though, because then I come back and I'm like, I just want to post what I did for these 2 weeks, like do a little recap. And that's mainly because I use my stories I archive like so much, or like my highlight bubbles. I love looking back and being like, oh, this is the highlights. And I know I could just do that in my camera roll, but there's so much in my camera roll that like when I story it, it's like procured. Anyways, so that's been a fun goal that I've worked on. I kind of dropped the ball on my, what was it, the 50s daily, where you do 50 push-ups, 50 air squats, 50 lunges, sorry, I'm looking at my sticky note, and a 50-second plank and a 50-second wall sit. And that I did pretty good for a few months. And I try to do it in my workout every now and again, but I think it was hard on top of like trying to do other workouts. Anyways, so that's a little take on goals, but I encourage you all to maybe go look at what you set at the beginning of the year, and I need to do that as well. I got a new desk, and so I took everything to the basement, and now I don't remember where I put my letter I wrote about what I wanted to happen for this year. I am manifesting seeing Taylor Swift somehow this year, so still hoping that comes to be. And before I jumped into a few of these questions, people asked me, my little brother gets home from his mission in 2 weeks, and I am so excited. And there's just so many fun things coming, and I'm excited to be able to share them later. And I don't know what I was looking for. Oh, there's also this really cool thing my neighbor, McCall, taught our Relief SETI, our church group of women. And it was writing a letter to yourself and reading it 2 weeks later. Was it 2 weeks or 2 months? Sometime later, but it's a letter of like spiritual experiences or just how you are as a person, how you feel, and kind of like smaller term goals. And then like reading it a little bit later, like little check-ins, and I thought that was really cool. So as you reflect, maybe write yourself a little halfway through the year letter. Okay, and with that, we'll end with a few questions, literally 4. One of them is an Indian person I knew when I was in India, I think, so not that one. It just, yeah, I follow a ton of people on Instagram. Like my ratio, quote unquote, is really bad, but I like love networking. I love following so many different things, but I'm like, I should set that as another halfway goal of like just go through and unfollow accounts that don't matter. Okay, the first question: how men can be more competent in the eyes of women? That's a good question. I think for me personally, my mind goes to like a man who's handy, a man who can say, "Oh, the microwave's not working. I'm going to YouTube it and figure it out," and like try to do things on their own within reason, right? If it's like something crazy, yeah, call a professional. But I always love a good handyman, someone willing to put in the work, and with that, put in the work to build a good relationship. Emotionally intelligent in most ways is important, but yeah, competent. I don't know, it's always, I think, attractive when a girl sees a man building and chasing after his career for the right reasons, though. Like I think if I was a man, which I hate saying things like this because it's like I really have no idea how it might be. But like I wouldn't want to be so consumed in like making a ton of money. Okay, as I say this, I'm like, yeah, who doesn't want money and work hard and get that? But I think if I was a man, I'd want that to be just like prioritized by I want to give for my family. That's really cool when you see a guy who's dedicated to that. And it looks different for a lot of people. And I'm sure there are guys out there who are working their butts off in their careers and haven't found the right one. And to them, I'm like, just keep going, right? Like Dallin Dickerson said in his episode a few times ago, he's building his garden for his future wife and family. And if the garden's already like done, what was the analogy? Something about like it'll be ready for her to be hers. And I'm like, oh, that's really beautiful. I'm going to think more about this. Another question is, what's your best advice for someone wanting to create their own podcast? I think you need grit and determination. Mine has ebbed and flowed with this podcast. If I didn't have a full-time job, I would love to maybe dedicate more time to this. And I know I still can. And I've talked about this many times about, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this. And for me, I'm just trying to keep that consistency and enjoy it as I go, because that's why I do most things in my life, is because it's fun. And I'm learning how to make that work hard and fun be more of a thing, because yeah, there's a lot of work I can put into this and I just haven't done that yet, but it's really, really simple. Spotify Podcasters is awesome, and you really don't need that much fancy recording equipment. I miss my producer George and his fancy setup, and I'm exploring new options because right now it's just me and my laptop, and I have a microphone, but I felt like it didn't really make that big of a difference, so I need to explore settings and stuff, but it's awesome. I highly recommend it. I think even if I don't have like a billion listeners, if 50, then it's still worth it for me. It's worth it for me to chat through things, as well as just allow space for people to share what they're passionate about and for me to learn from people, and it's really fun. Okay. Last question, and then it is bedtime for me, and hopefully you guys can listen to this sometime whenever you find a good time to listen to my voice. And if you ever want me to do a meditation, I was considering, like, do I have a voice for that? So, let me know. Okay, last question. If a man is, is a man less of a man if he can't change a tire? That's ironic because it's kind of like, is a man competent if he can change a tire? Or is a man competent that he can pay for AAA and they can come fix his tire? I dated a guy once, though, who was like pretty adamant on, like, no, you need to learn how to change a tire. And I'm like, but I have AAA. And he's like, no. Like, what if you're somewhere where they can't get to you? Like, you should learn how to change a tire. And I remember my dad did it for like FHE once. And I know the principles of changing a tire. So, yeah, sorry, I'm relating this back to me. I think it's good to know how to, but is a man less if he can't? Like, obviously, I want to say no, but I'm sure some girls would be like, yeah, like, he should know how to do that. And with that, I'm trying to think of any last things I can share with you. There have been some good quotes lately in my life, a lot of spiritual ones, but also I have the momentum extension on my Chrome, and there's a quote of the day every day, and I usually save them in my phone notes. And I really like this one. The only way you are going to have success is to have a lot of failures first. It's kind of like Ben Franklin too, right? With the light bulb. Yeah. So good. Ooh, and this one too. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. And with that, today at work we talked about conflict and great. Consideration, I think, was the other word. But how conflict is not the same as contention. And that is so important to remember, that conflict is good. It teaches you. And you have to first be willing to understand. And then, second, candor. That was the other word. Candor and wow, it's a little late for me. Candor and consideration. You need to still be able to share what's on your mind and, like, be opinionated, but with consideration. And it was really cool to have a discussion about that. And like this quote says, it is like, the more we understand, the more we fear less, and we're willing to share our opinions, yet we can still be considerate and compassionate toward other people in trying to understand them and what they want, which is like the key to life, I think, if you go into any situation trying to understand the other person more than your own, because we always have our own agendas. We always know our own opinions, right? We get so defensive and reactive when someone kind of pushes us, right? Or pushes us some way we were like, wait, or sometimes with the truth. And so just asking ourselves, okay, why? Why was I so reactive? What am I not understanding? Okay, and with that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.